In the golden heart of East Africa, where acacia trees slice the horizon and the sun scorches the land before breakfast, survival doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to the smartest. This is Kenya, home of lions, the undisputed kings of the Savanna. But today's story doesn't follow the lions. It follows those who dare to defy them. Baboons. Fierce not really. Fast kind of. But strategic, social, and bold enough to face off against apex predators. Absolutely. In a world where one mistake can mean death, these underdogs use intelligence communication and sheer courage to survive among Africa's most dangerous beasts. You've seen lions hunt. You've seen leopards stalk. But you've never seen baboons like this. This is more than a documentary. This is a survival chess match. Welcome to the wild side of Kenya, where brains go to war with brawn. Welcome to the African Savanna, a place of astonishing beauty and unforgiving rules. Stretching across 65% of the African continent, these sweeping grasslands are more than just a postcard. They're a pressure cooker of survival. With scorching days, bone-chilling nights, and just 2 seasons, wet or dry, this environment demands constant adaptation. Life here plays out in extremes. The strong roam with power. The clever thrive in numbers. Lions patrol these plains with the confidence of kings. Leopards stalk in the shadows, silent and swift. Hyenas scavenge with strategy and sound. Elephants march like living monuments of memory. And among them, baboons. Often overlooked, often underestimated, but always watching. They are not the biggest, not the fastest. But in a world where everything is hunting or being hunted, brains might just beat brawn. This is Papio anubis, the olive baboon. Found throughout Kenya, they live in tight-knit troops, ranging from 20 to over 100 members. But don't let their playful grooming and chatter fool you. These are strategic minds operating like a mini-society. Every troop has structure. The alpha male leads, but not by brute force alone. His job is to maintain order, protect the young, and coordinate responses to threats. Females run the family lines. Their connections form the backbone of troop stability, teaching the young, comforting the sick, and creating lifelong alliances. These baboons babysit each other's infants. They sound vocal alarms for specific predators. They share food, defend territory, and even mourn their dead. And here's the wild twist: baboons have shown cognitive abilities comparable to great apes' problem-solving deception, even rudimentary tool use. In the hierarchy of the wild, intelligence isn't just a bonus. It's the difference between life and death. But in the wild, intelligence is tested not in the calm, but in conflict. 2 rival troops, Nuru from the east, Yengo from the north, find themselves face to face at a dried-out riverbed. Food is scarce, the rains are late, and every fruit tree matters. The air tenses. Nuru's alpha steps forward, fur-bristling fangs exposed. Behind him, the entire troop circles inward, placing mothers and infants in the center. A living fortress. From the brush, Yengo's warriors advance. Calls rise in pitch, chest beating, ground slapping. The language of war, but orchestrated with discipline. Then movement. A young Yengo male breaks ranks, charges. The savannah erupts. Screams pierce the air. Dust flies. This isn't just a brawl, it's calculated chaos. In less than a minute, Yengo retreats. No deaths, no blood. But the message is clear. This isn't chaos, it's organized defense. And in baboon society, intelligence fights just as fiercely as instinct. If the savannah had royalty, the lion would wear the crown. But even kings must tread carefully when thrones are surrounded by eyes and warnings. In Kenya, lions don't rule alone. They lead with strategy. The lioness, fast coordinated and lethal, is the real engine of every hunt. While males guard the pride's boundaries, it's the females who deliver the kill. They stalk in silence, leveraging grass-covered terrain dips and wind direction. With powerful limbs and bursts of speed, up to 80 kilometers per h, 50 miles per hour, they ambush prey, often within seconds. But lions aren't built for long chases. Their advantage, teamwork and surprise. But baboons aren't like gazelles. They don't run. They don't scatter. They warn form ranks and fight back. It's a challenge that not even apex predators take lightly. Because while a baboon may be prey on paper, on the ground, it's a problem. In the savannah, fear doesn't keep you alive. Coordination does. Baboons have developed one of the most advanced alarm call systems in the primate world. One bark means a lion. A different screech means a leopard. Another, a snake. These are not random sounds, they are coded alerts. When danger approaches, the response is instant. Mothers clutch infants. Juveniles move inward. Adult males take high ground or block paths. In one rare moment, caught on camera, a leopard slinks through the tall grass eyes locked on a wandering juvenile. But before it can pounce, a high-pitched alarm cuts through the air. The leopard pauses, looks up. It's been spotted. Within seconds, 3 adult males charge from different directions. The predator backs off tail low. Because in the wild, predators fear noise and numbers more than fangs. The baboons haven't just survived here for millennia. They've created one of the most resilient social defense systems in the animal kingdom. Asterisk. If lions are warriors, leopards are assassins. Stealthy, solitary, deadly. The African leopard Panthera pardus pardus doesn't rely on pride or backup. It stalks alone, blending into the dappled shadows of acacia trees or crouching low in the tall yellow grass. Adults can weigh up to 70 kilograms, 154 pounds, and leap over 6 meters, 20 feet in a single bound. Their jaws are strong enough to crush bone, and their strategy is always the same weight creep strike. In one tense encounter, a lone male hides near a baboon troop at dusk. He's been waiting for hours. A baby baboon drifts too far behind. 3 meters. 2. The leopard tenses, then freezes. One of the alpha males has spotted him. A deep growl echoes across the clearing. In a flash, the entire troop shifts.
Barking
Adult
fiercely.
males rush forward. Infants vanish into the trees. The leopard now exposed retreats into the darkness. Leopards hunt alone. Baboons survive as one. And out here, unity can be deadlier than teeth. In the wild, legacy isn't passed down by stories. It's passed through survival. For baboons, the cycle begins with subtle rituals and high-stakes dynamics. During mating season, tensions rise. Dominant males compete not just with strength, but with strategy, offering grooming food, sharing even infant care to gain favor with fertile females. Once pregnant, the female withdraws from conflict, seeking safety in numbers. Her belly swells, her steps slow, but the troop protects her. After 6 months, a single baby is born, fragile, wide-eyed, gripping tightly to its mother's chest. These infants don't just learn to climb. They learn to read fear in the air, to recognize alarm calls, to follow the rhythm of safety and risk. Play becomes practice. Grooming becomes bonding. And slowly, they transform from the protected to the protectors. Every baboon starts by holding on and ends by holding ground. Survival isn't a solo act. In the African wild, even the smallest creatures know this truth. Unity equals survival. Near the rivers of Kenya, a group of African clawless otters glides through the water, playful, fast, and always alert. But today, something stirs beneath the surface. A crocodile, silent, ancient, deadly, approaches. One chirp. That's all it takes. Instantly, the otters gather, forming a tight, pulsing ring. They snap, splash, confuse, and crowd the reptile until it backs off, choosing peace over risk. Just meters away, a family of elephants approaches to drink. The calves stay in the center. Adults surround them. No words, no warning, just presence and formation. In nature, this behavior echoes across species: baboons, otters, elephants, even impalas. They know survival isn't about dominance. It's about knowing who's beside you when danger arrives. But what happens when the real danger isn't a predator? What if it's us? Kenya's ecosystem has danced this delicate choreography for millennia. But now, the tempo is shifting. Rain falls later, or not at all. Rivers shrink. Forest canopies vanish one chainsaw at a time. Baboons change their routes. Elephants march farther for water. Leopards hunt closer to villages, not because they want to, but because they have no choice. The signs are there: cracked riverbeds, blackened skies, silent mornings where there should be monkey calls. And yet, there's still time. Time to choose preservation over expansion. Time to protect what still breathes, runs, stalks, and climbs. Because Kenya is still wild, still untamed. But for how long till we next decides whether these stories are remembered or replaced by silence. In the wild, every moment is borrowed time. For baboons, for lions, even for us. What the Savanna teaches us is simple. Survival is never just about strength. It's about knowing when to fight, when to retreat, when to protect, and most importantly, when to come together. The baboons didn't win because they were the fiercest. They survived because they understood something many of us forget. We're stronger together. Whether you're raising a child, facing down your fears, or protecting the fragile things that matter, unity, resilience, and awareness are our greatest tools. So if these stories moved you, if you felt the heartbeat of the Savanna in your chest, don't let it fade. Subscribe to Wildlife Documentary Hub and join a growing community that believes knowledge leads to compassion, and compassion leads to protection. Let's keep these wild stories alive, not just for the animals, but for all of us who still believe the world is worth fighting for.